In my previous class, I was telling you how can you read in common about the three chapters, that is acid, bases, salt, chemical reactions, and metals and non-metals. There are certain common features which are being repeated. For example, if you take oxidation, so there is a part that is present in oxidation in the first chapter. What is oxidation? Oxidation is a chemical reaction of anything with oxygen. Or then you have got reduction. Well, this process again you are going to study in metals and non-metals. When metals react with oxygen, what is going to happen? For example, there is what we call it as a surface reaction. Which are the common metals that you have to apply? Usually the metals are iron, zinc, copper, magnesium, sodium, like this. These are the common metals. Again, when you think of this metal, you just can understand. There is one thing called as reactivity series. This you are studying in metals and non-metals. Where you are studying that iron is more reactive than copper. In the reactivity series, as you go down, the reactivity reduces. It is in the descending order. This application you can see in the first part called as the chemical displacement. What is chemical displacement? Chemical displacement is one chemical reaction in which a metal and an element displaces another element from its compound. So he has given an example like this: iron reacts with copper sulfate to form iron sulfate, and in the process copper is produced. When you study in the starting, you may not understand this, but the same thing is explained in the reactivity series where he says that iron is more reactive than copper. That is the reason you can understand what is the exact meaning of displacement. So if there can be a displacement reaction, it can happen only the element that you are considering should be more reactive than the element that is present in the compound. So at a time you are studying in the metals and non-metals also, in the displacement reaction also. This way you have to try to understand, you have to just amalgamate those things so that it can be very easy for you to understand. Likewise, when you talk of reduction, oxidation, what is oxidation? Oxidation is addition of oxygen. What is reduction? Reduction is addition of hydrogen or removal of oxygen. So there you again write what we call it as a redox reaction. What is a redox reaction? It is a type of chemical reaction in which there is both reduction and oxidation. Again you study about rancidity. ಗಮಟು ಕರಡಗ ಆಗೋದು ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ರ್ಯಾನ್ಸಿಡಿಟಿ ಅಂತ ಓದ್ತೀವಿ. ರ್ಯಾನ್ಸಿಡಿಟಿ ಇಸ್ ಅಗೇನ್ ಎ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೇಷನ್ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ, ಸರ್ ಇಲ್ಲೂ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೇಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೇಷನ್, ಈ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೇಷನ್ಗೆ ಯಾಕೆ ನಾವು ರ್ಯಾನ್ಸಿಡಿಟಿ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ದಿಸ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೇಷನ್ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್ ವಿತ್ ಒನ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಎಡಿಬಲ್ ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ಸ್. ನಾವು ಆಹಾರವಾಗಿ ಸೇವನೆ ಮಾಡುವಂತ ವಸ್ತುಗಳು, ಕೆಲವು ವಸ್ತುಗಳು ಹಾಳಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಹಾಳಾಗಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಕೃತಿಯಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತಹ ಆಮ್ಲಜನಕವೇ ಕಾರಣ. ಆಮ್ಲಜನಕ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರಕ್ರಿಯೆ ನಡೆಸಿ ಹಾಳಾಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವುಗಳ ಪೋಷಕಾಂಶ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ದೇ ಲೂಸ್ ದೇರ್ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಿಷನಲ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ rancidity. ಅಗೇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಅಪ್ಲೈಡ್ ಇನ್ ವಾಟ್ ಯು ಕಾಲ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಸ್ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜಿನೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಯಿಲ್ಸ್. ಇದು ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜಿನೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಯಿಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಎಣ್ಣೆಯ ಘನಕೀಕರಣ ಅಂತ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಇದನ್ನ ನೀವೆಲ್ಲಿ ಓದ್ತೀರಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಕಾಂಪೌಂಡ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಓದ್ತೀರಾ. ಅದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾನು ಮುಂದಿನ ಪಾಠದಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಕಾಂಪೌಂಡ್ಸ್, ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಮತ್ತು ಅದರ ಸಂಯುಕ್ತಗಳು.